Planet Zoo, and the Zoo of Rock. This is just going to be an update of what I've done in the last 24 hours. I said I was going to do something with this raised area over here, and I didn't. I didn't do a darn thing with this area over here, but instead I did this massive thing over here. The asylum. The insane asylum. That's right. Insanity has come to the Zoo of Rock. Got these lemurs out here on the little statues. I spread out the it. This is just a single image that I pushed back 4 times to make it give it some depth. I didn't change the color to match the thing because I wanted them to stand out. The interior design needs a lot of work. This is just what I've able to. I stayed up late last night, and in the theme of insanity, we've got the red lemurs with the Quiet Riot's Metal Health. I want to do something with the back walls back there, put videos and stuff, but I'm having a hard time figuring out how to download videos off of YouTube. Uh, it's a pain, it's all technical side of things that I wanted to add some interactivity to this with the backside back there. Hold on, let me get into a different mode. It'll be easier. Go to Explorer mode. Okay, there's that. There's the mental health, and then over here, keeping with the theme of mental stuff, we've got Queensryche Operation Mindcrime. Now, this isn't so much about with Mindcrime in the name. I figured that fits with the whole mental insanity thing and stuff like that. And anybody that knows the album knows that it's themed around a guy that loses his sanity based upon a big conspiracy theory that he thinks is going on. This is the black and white lemurs. They're out here. So over there we've got the red lemur, the black and white lemur, and for the last one we've got Ozzy Osbourne's Diary of a Madman. And this one over here is the ring-tailed lemurs. These guys hanging out doing their thing. All this is within the constraints of franchise mode, so the vegetation out there is what they like, not necessarily what I like. That's what I've got going inside here. It's the 2 shops, the 3 viewing places. Let me get out of this mode so I can really show you around. Okay, this is what it looks like on the outside. Gonna put some decoration. There's a lot to do to this. This was a solid 24 hours worth of work just to get this far. It takes a long time to detail this stuff and to set it all up, and mainly the planning. Getting everything right where the paths line up, and but I'm loving it. This is pretty fantastic. Each one of these habitats is decked out with all the climbing gear that they could want. I've got their feeding places. Um, Everything is accessible. In here, each one of them, I built a custom little. They have a tendency to sleep down here on the floor, but they are accessible up to the top here, as you can see when I click on him. Go in here to transversable area. You can see they can get up there, but they just don't do it a whole lot because it's a little bit of ways. But I've seen them go up there. That's the lemurs like that over here, and I've done the same thing on all sides. I've done these little houses and the gates and stuff. And one thing I did notice is that if I put a door in here, a solid physical door, thinking that the keepers would walk through it, and they won't. They hit that door and they cannot path out in. If you block them in with items, they are blocked in and they cannot refresh all these enrichment items out here. So I took the doors out that were in there. I had a nice door too. It was pretty cool. But yeah, this is the inside of what their places look like. All their habitat stuff. Same thing going on this side. The little room. Each one has their own little room with above the caretaker's spot, which needs to be decked out with stuff. But it's the foundation is there. That what I need somebody that is really good at detailing to come in and take over my maps, because I'm pretty good at the architectural layout of things. But when it gets down to the minutiae and the details and stuff, I'm not the best. And I get impatient. I'm ready. I'm already ready to work on the next project, but this one still needs bushes and landscaping out front here. It needs stuff around the top of these rails. I was thinking about doing some kind of cage system over the top. Um, it needs a lot, but just to get this far, like I said, was so long that I'm ready to move on. I want to theme these interiors to with the albums too. Like these back walls back here, I'd love to be able to put big video screens that play, from like the video of Operation Mindcrime or whatever. I Don't Believe in Love, I think was their only rock video. Uh, Metal Health, they did a couple album or a couple videos, put them in the back there. Or I can, put videos of like insane asylum stuff and just make it real crazy and macabre in here. But Diary of a Madman, do the same thing over here. Put Ozzy stuff on the back. Anyway, there's lots of things I could do for this. Mental Health and Diary of a Madman were gimmies. Those were obvious choices for the insanity themed place, because of the titles of the albums and stuff like that. This one was a little bit harder. I went through a lot. I looked at the Downward Spiral from Nine Inch Nails, which is a themed album around it, but I didn't think the cover was iconic enough to throw up here. I looked at Dirt from Alice in Chains, which is another album that covers a lot of mental instability and stuff like that. The album is a little bit more, or the cover is a little more iconic, but I went with this one because I think I can. Dirt, I think I can actually do something with that with other animals in the future. Um, Obviously, The Wall was another one that could fit in here. Pink Floyd's The Wall is absolutely about mental insanity and all that, but it that one is just too big that I think that if I'm going to put The Wall in here, it needs its own exhibit. So I also kind of on the fringe looked a little bit at like Dr. Feelgood, but that's more about addiction than it is insanity. Um, there's a lot of individual songs like Metallica's Sanitarium, but Master of Puppets itself as an album needs its own exhibit. Uh, yeah, so I went with Mindcrime. I think that I mean, the whole album begins with, I remember now. I remember how it started. I can't remember yesterday. I just remember doing what they told me. That's him in the hospital talking to himself, recapping the crazy events, and it's just the way the nurse comes in and sweet dreams, you bastard. The way she says that and stuff. It just makes me think that yeah, that dude's going into a lunatic asylum, and he went into this asylum. So I think Operation Mindcrime is a great addition to the lunatic asylum for the lemurs. That's what I've got going on. That's all I've done in the last, but it was a lot. And the next video might be a day or two late because I need a minute to refresh on this. I was up till 5 in the morning. It just went nuts. I know it doesn't look like much, that a lot of people do a lot better, but for me, I think this is pretty fantastic. It's got weird angles. It 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 creates a center viewing spot for all three. Or yeah, I didn't put the lemurs all together because I didn't want to. I don't know. I wanted to spread it out. I just thought that a lemur house like this would be great. And I also had the idea for doing this asylum in my city map, but I just never got around to it. That I was going to add an old asylum to it, but anyway, that's where I'm at. Gonna start working on the next one a little bit and do a bunch of detailing on this, and yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where I'm at. Have a happy, crazy, insane next couple of days. All right, see you next time.